Hey there guys, Raj here. Today I'm going to be doing a vintage or aged Cuban cigar acquisitions video, like a haul video. These are some of the cigars that I've picked up recently and I thought I'd just run through them with you. So this is part one. There is going to be another one, a second part coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's just go through all of the cigars in here. So starting from left to right, the first two coming from the house of Bolivar, one of my favorite cigar brands just ever, not even just Cuban, just full time. This is from Bolivar and this is the Corona Gigantes. Now this particular cigar is from, if you can see just about on the label, let me just focus. This is from 1999 and this label is actually applied by, as you can see, it says H&F, that is Hunters and Francois, the UK distributor of Cuban cigars. This is part of their vintage stock, which they distribute around all their suppliers. The Corona Gigantes from 1999. What a cigar. I've actually smoked one of these from 1997, so I'm interested to see, if there's any development or what the differences are. Bolivar is always known for being a bit more full-bodied, a bit more richer than a lot of the other Cubans, but this particular one is it is full-bodied in the sense that there's a lot of flavor, but it's not particularly strong. It's not as spicy as some of the other sticks. There's a lot of sweet earth in here, sweet woodiness, cedar, typical flavors in a Cuban cigar, and also that wonderful creamy sweetness that kind of comes towards the middle and the end of the cigar, which I actually like the most. So I've had this in my humidor for, I don't know, like a couple of months or so. So I don't know, I just need to find a time to go out and smoke that. And I will, by the way, I will be trying to do more reviews outdoors. In the winter time I just can't do it, but as the spring time comes along and hopefully we'll get some better weather, I'll try and get outside and review some of these. Another one from Bolivar. This one is a Bolivar Corona Extra from 1998. No band, no nothing, just completely plain. And kind of like a, see if we can get a good, yeah, here we go. Kind of like, there's some sort of, I don't want to say, different colors, different shades of brown in here, and it looks a bit striped almost in the ways, going from this light brown to this dark brown. Bolivar is great. Obviously visually this doesn't look great, but the brand is amazing. They've got so much flavor in there. Definitely one of those where I think if you are looking for a more full-bodied, richer smoke, definitely check out that brand. So, going on to a couple from Montecristo. This one is the Monte number 2. I can't remember the exact year, but it's definitely late 90s. So, around 97, I think, is when this one is from. Montecristo number 2, probably one of the more popular, well-known Pyramides, torpedo-style cigars, and this has aged so well. I've got a couple more. I've smoked a couple of these before. I've got 2 in my humidor, so I want to leave them for a while. And first of all, the aroma when you first light it up is like nothing else I've smelt from a Cuban cigar. Sometimes you don't always get that from the first light, but it really impressed me straight away. And so much flavor in there, very mild but really kind of floral, sweet, slightly bitter at times, bitter chocolate. Excellent. Really enjoyed this when I smoked it. And one that I've never smoked before, again from Montecristo. This one is the Montecristo number 3 from 1989. 1989, can you imagine? I was what, like 2 years old when this cigar was rolled. I have never smoked the Monte 3 before. Obviously, I know the Monte 2, the number 4. And to be honest, like I like Montecristo, but it's not like my favorite brand out there. I do prefer others like Bolivar and Partagas and Hoyo, but yeah, it's definitely a brand that I think is great for if you're looking to get into Cuban cigars. If you're just looking to find out what they're all about, I think start with Montecristo. The cigar looks a little bit yellow and is maybe not the best looking thing I've ever seen, but it should smoke well. Over time, obviously, cigars they take time to develop their taste. The aroma changes. There's so much development. They become smoother, more rounded, And honestly, I just think, what's the point sometimes of smoking fresh cigars? Sometimes you have to pay a premium for these, yes, but I think it's worth it. And some of these I got from some London stores. You can obviously get them from your from online, or you just have to find a place that is trusted, basically. Going on to a couple of Cohibas. This is the Cohiba Siglo VI from 2006. I actually, I'm not really a fan of Cohibas when they're fresh. I think they taste quite dull, to be honest. I think they need a really good amount of time, in just from my sort of not limited experience, shall we say, of smoking fresh Cohibas. I do like the brand a lot, and what I'm saying is that they just need time to taste a little bit better. The Siglo VI, definitely one of the more chunky cigars that Cohiba have produced, although they have come out with some even more bigger ones recently. This one from 1996, the Cohiba Siglo V, a more thinner cigar, longer, and you can tell here this is the old band. So I know people kind of go a bit crazy with like, oh, it's a fake, but you know, like, I don't know. The Cohiba band has changed a lot over time because of counterfeiting, and yeah, I'm really interested to see how this develops. I think Cohiba, with time, that grassiness comes through, that leathery aroma, the sweetness. It's quite an earthy cigar. Not the most sweetest cigars I've ever smoked in my experience, but yeah, these two I'm really looking forward to smoking. And this one is new in the sense that it is recently released by Habanos into the Hoyo, the Monterrey brand, I should say. This is part of Cuba's Anejados range. And what this is all about is the cigar is actually rolled around between 5 and 8 years ago. And then what they do is that they repackage them and they have released them into this line, which is made up of the Montecristo Churchill, this one, the Hoyo, Romeo y Julieta Pyramides, and also one that's been recently released, the Partagas Corona Gorda. I have smoked one of these before. I thought I'd get one more just to kind of maybe make my mind up. I liked it. I didn't think it was amazing, but I think it was very good. Very, very sweet and light and easy to smoke. Often like a lot of the other Hoyos, except for maybe the Petit Robusto, which packs a punch. But I think it's really good. I think it's definitely really good. And going on to the final one, remember guys, this is just part one, so stay tuned for the second part. Cigar that I've smoked one before, and I've got 2 or 3 of these in my humidor now. From Romeo y Julieta, this one is the Belicosos, and as you can see, the band has, I don't know what the hell has happened, but maybe I think what has happened is that inside the cigar box, you get a bit of, it's not tracing paper, but it's like that kind of almost opaque, translucent almost paper, and it has writing on it, and I think some of the ink has bled onto the band, which looks completely messed up. But this is the Belicosos from 2005, and I remember the first time I smoked it, I was actually really impressed. You know, Romeo is a good brand, it's not my favourite one out there, but it had a ton of woodiness, a little bit spicy, and became lovely and sweet and creamy, like a lot of Cubans do actually, as the cigar develops. And it coated the underside of my lips with that wonderful creaminess that, to be honest, I have never really found in any other cigar from any other country. So there you go guys, just a look at some of the vintage Cuban, or aged Cuban cigars that I've picked up recently. And honestly, I think I'm really going to go down this way. You know, the new cigars, great, a lot of them are fantastic. Some of them are just too bitter and too early to smoke. But, you know, because I haven't been buying cigars for, you know, decades, I don't have my own stock of aged stuff. So as I buy new things, I just leave them there and I don't smoke them. And then I smoke these. So it goes in that cycle. So yeah guys, let me know, have you smoked any of these? Do they look interesting to you? Let me know your thoughts. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. Bye.